Can people see me, feel me, hear me, touch me? Listening to you, I got the feeling with you. I got the power behind you. I've got the motion. It's the hour. Are we good? We're good. Okay. Well, hello. It's Brewster Fun Time here. Brewster Fun Time here. You can probably hear me better if I take this mask off. So I'll tell you what. I'm going to take the mask off, and I'm going to proclaim that I'm back at Makepeace Manor, and the pandemic is over. Oh, don't we wish it were true? But hey, we're doing the best we can. We're fighting the thing. We're making progress, apparently. And next year, we will all be here at Makepeace Manor. We'll be 200 plus strong, like we have been at other Alice's restaurant parties. But for now, we are coming to you live with a very small but distinguished cast of folks who have been very, very helpful in pulling this together. Huge thanks to Mike the Performer, Mike Larson, and Ed Conley, DJ Total, who have made it possible for us to go virtual, despite the fact that my technological knowledge is lost in 1969, the year that I was born and Alice's Restaurant happened in the movie. Alice's Restaurant is a tradition that I have been very excited to stumble into and host since 1989, and in the burner community since about 2008. We've had it here at Makepeace Manor for a solid decade now. Our first one was in 2010, it's 2020, and we're back here on location at Makepeace Manor. That's right, live from Makepeace Manor, it's Saturday night! And the Alice's Restaurant Party. Thank you so much to the many people who have sent in wonderful videos of performances that they will be sharing tonight, and other folks will be doing some live things. This is the first Saturday Night Live at Makepeace Manor that we've ever done. New York is a lot bigger than us. They've had a lot more experience. So forgive us if everything isn't exactly as you thought it might be. But hey, the price is right. It's free, and it's being beamed to you over the interwebs. Behind me, Playa Beltane, the red VW microbus, which, like all of Makepeace Manor, is a little bit inspired by Arlo Guthrie's 1967 song and movie from 1969. For those of you who haven't had a chance to hear the song or watch the movie, the synopsis is simple. Really cool people bought a church. They made it a place of welcome that their friends could come and hang out at, and a place where people could get away from the stresses and pressures of the world, which was a crazy place in the 1960s. It's still a crazy place, and that's what we're trying to do at Makepeace Manor, is be a place of welcome and community. Arlo Guthrie also used the song to protest the draft, and let me just tell you, if there's a draft Makepeace Manor's on board, we'll protest that too. We've been doing this party because it happens that the name Alice's Restaurant is a good excuse to get together and have some food and perhaps some drinks. It's also a chance for us to flash back to the 1960s and reflect on that coffee house mystique, that time when people come together and feel comfortable sharing their talents, whether they were famous or infamous or not famous at all. They could get together and sing a song, share a poem, enjoy the creativity. And the reason this party has flourished for the past decade at Makepeace Manor, and slightly longer since it was done at the Glow House and at Highview Hall before that, is quite simple. We have a fabulous community of creative people who love to get together and celebrate the creativity that we bring and share. So that's what Alice's Restaurant is about. That's what it's about when people are here in person, and that's about what it's about now that we're trying our first ever virtual one. Again, so much thanks to Mike and Ed for pulling it together on the virtual end. Dino is helping us out tonight as well. We got backup from Shanna and Rachel. We've got Monster and Kate and KJ in the house, among others. We've got Charisse bringing puppetry to life, along with poetry. And it's going to be a really, really fun adventure. What we're planning to do is from now until about 8 o'clock, we're going to play some videos of people who sent us. We're going to do some live events here, live at Mayhem Manor. We might light a bonfire at some point in the background. And at 8 o'clock, Mike has his set that he's going to play some DJ action. After that, we'll play some more videos. Who knows what we'll do? Things could get crazy. They could not. The dogs know what's going down here. And I think we're ready to roll our first video. Is that correct? All right. And who's our first video? Yes, thank you, Fred. A wonderful presence at many Alice restaurants is here to join us and share a performance. So thank you, Fred, and here we go. We're off and running.
Oh, wow. Hello there, Alice. Welcome to Fred's restaurant. I'm sitting here waiting for this veggie stock to simmer down for about an hour or so. So, got some time on my hands where I thought I might share a little something to help celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Alice restaurant party, hosted by our lovely man Brewster.
Brewster! Brewster! Things I missed, but don't be unkind. Don't mean that I'm blind. Perhaps there's a thing or two I think I lie in bed I shouldn't have said, but there he is. It's all clear. You were meant to be. From the beginning, maybe I might have changed and not been so good, not been such a fool. But whatever's done is done. I just can't recall. It doesn't matter at all. You see, it's all clear. You were meant to be. From the beginning. Take it out there. Don't sing there, that's not the singing part, dumbass. You see, it's so clear. You were meant to be. Be here now. Be good to yourself. Be good to the people you love. Be good to the people you can't stand. Love you, Alice.
Wow, thank you, Fred. Thank you, Fred. That was awesome. That was what Alice's Restaurant is all about. And that was a great start for us. We got a little break here as we line up our next thing, and as we pull a truck in, Monster's pulling the truck in so that we can broadcast on the side of it, because it happens that a giant white truck is a giant screen. Who knew that? A red VW microbus would not be as good a screen because it's red, but white trucks are white trucks. So hopefully there's not too much noise from the diesel rattling there. But I have a special song that I want to share tonight. Arlo Guthrie. Without Arlo Guthrie, there's no Alice's Restaurant Party, because Arlo Guthrie went to a Thanksgiving party in 1965 and wrote a song in 1967 about his experience at that party, and then made a movie in 1969, all of which are called Alice's Restaurant, because Alice, his friend, had a restaurant. So that got a lot of stuff rolling. And Arlo Guthrie performed the song Alice's Restaurant for more than 50 years, from 1967 when he wrote it up until this year. He was actually performing it in 2020 when COVID hit and everything got shut down. And he retired from the road, but we learned some rough news recently. Arlo had a stroke back in 2019, late in the year. It was a minor one. And then he had another one in 2020. And he realized after those strokes, his life is okay, he's going to be all right, but it's time to retire from the road after more than 50 years of touring. As I say, he's the person who inspired the Alice's Restaurant Party with his song and and the story of Alice's Restaurant. And he's someone near and dear to my heart. I've had the honor to see him a number of times, literally from Provincetown, the most far east part of America in Cape Cod, out to Seattle, the farthest west part. And of course, he's traveled it many, many a time. So when I heard that news that Arlo was retiring from the road, I decided to write a little song about it. As Jenny and several other friends of mine know, the Alice's Restaurant Party can be a challenge to get a song written, because it's an event, and if you want something original, you have one day to figure out when it's going to be ready by. And my mom asked me today when I shared this with her, because she introduced me to Arlo, whether I was going to send it to him. And I don't know that I'd do that. That might be a little weird. Not that I'm not weird. But at least I get to share it with you all tonight, and you can let me know what you think of it. Let's just say the lyrics I'm happy with, the tune I'm working on, and again, inspiration's welcome. And one of the great things that happens at Alice's Restaurant Party, sometimes people hear one of my performances and say, hey, let's work together on this, and I like when that happens. This is called For Arlo Guthrie, November 2020. It's the time of the year when your songs ring most clear, so you were on my mind this week. I hoped that you were well, but did not want to dwell on something that is never guaranteed. The note you sent was bittersweet, conveying peace more than defeat, sharing that your touring days were through. Health played its role in this, and age has its own kiss. No one deserves some downtime more than you. I'm glad you're still around, even though you're slowing down, after long sharing your performing gifts. With every song you sang and every mind you changed in the many, many lives you've lived. My parents hated rock and roll. It was banished from our home. But you were a folk music legacy. So you snuck in with long hair and hippie grin, an ambassador for pop culture to me. I never gave a second thought to any ticket that I bought, rushing to pick them up from Will Call, from Clearwater to Bethel and Cape Cod to Seattle, and muddy festivals to Carnegie Hall. I'm glad you're still around, even though you're slowing down, taking time to savor a slowing pace. So long as your kids play shows, that Guthrie magic grows, and audiences move with amazing grace. Sometimes a song's chords and melody and words can energize people anew. Protesting brutality, building community, they may even launch a movement or two. My own life was lifted up when I got aboard the bus. And akin to the one in your film and song. And in your church I saw a new culture with a cause, in a place anybody could belong. I'm glad you're still around, even though you're slowing down. Your music and your roads always inspire. Across this land, that's your land, heading out from Coney Island, right on to where your heart desires. I'm glad you're still around, even though you're slowing down. After long sharing your performing gifts, with every song you sang and every mind you changed through these many, many lovely lives you've lived. Aw, thank you so much. A joy to be able to pay tribute to one of my great heroes, Arlo Guthrie, who inspired this party and keeps it rolling after all these years. What's coming up next, Mr. DJ?
Next up, we have a video by
A video by?
one Crystal McCallum.
Oh, yeah, here's Crystal's video. Thank you, Crystal.
Hi, I'm Crystal McCallum, and my very short piece is based on an actual events that occurred back in 2010 when I was the treasurer of our Burning Man camp, Great Balls of Fire, or GBOF. Now, I will tell you that the most difficult part of being treasurer isn't collecting money from people. It's getting people to give you their expense information so that you can reimburse them what they spent money on. This is an actual email exchange between me and my dear campmate Kip. As many of you know, Kip lost his courageous 2-year battle with pancreatic cancer earlier this month. Kip and I had talked about doing this bit at an Alice's restaurant a few years ago, but for a variety of reasons, we just were never able to quite pull it together. So here goes. From everstarresearch@gmail.com, September 9th, 2010. Hi, Kip. I'm doing the GBOF reimbursement. I have you down for $150 for lugging common camp supplies to and from the storage unit. Did you also take the trash to the dump, or was that Larry? Send me your address and I'll send you a check. Hugs, Crystal. From Kippinator@comcast.net, September 9th, 2010. Hey, Crystal. I did pay for the garbage and a couple of other things. When I get settled, I'll send you my Addy. Hope you have recovered some. Great to have camped with you and Keith at BM. See you soon, Kippinator. From Kippinator@comcast.net, September 12th. Hey, Crystal. I paid $27.48 to Waste Management for the garbage. Do you need the receipt? I can give it to you next time we see each other, which I hope is soon. Hugs, Kip Silverman. 4600 South 4 Mile Run Drive, Arlington, Virginia. September 12th. Hi, Kip. No, I don't need the receipt. We had allocated $50 in camp dues to cover the cost of the dump fees, plus gas/mileage for going to the dump. Do you know if Larry went to the dump too, or was it just you? I emailed him a few days ago, but I haven't gotten a response. Thanks, Crystal. From Kippinator. He went with me, but my truck had all the garbage. From everstarresearch@gmail.com. Okay, so since both of you went to the dump and incurred the mileage, I'll give you the $28 for Waste Management and split $22 for the mileage between you and Larry, so you each get $11. Therefore, I'll be sending you a check for $189. Hugs, Crystal. From Kippinator. Sure, $189 is fine. I don't think Larry incurred any mileage because we only used my truck regarding the garbage. We missed the deadline for dumping the garbage on Tuesday, and Monday was a holiday. So we were both forced to take the garbage to the dump at 7 a.m. on Wednesday with my truck before our flight that morning. That doesn't mean he shouldn't get the money, though. Thanks for being the treasurer. Hugs, Kip. From Everstar Research. This is beginning to sound like Alice's restaurant. September 26th. From Kippinator. Hey, I received the check. Thanks, Kip. So this is Kip. Giving me more information than was necessary, but always kind, generous, and willing to help out. Somewhere in the cosmos, he and Lunar Larry are having a good laugh right now. We will be having a Zoom memorial service for Kip on Saturday, December 5th. I'll post the Zoom link on Kip's Facebook page and the Makepeace Manor Facebook page as the date gets closer. So if you have a story about Kip that you would like to share, I encourage you to bring it to the memorial service and do so. I love you all.
Woo! Back to Saturday Night Live at Mayhem Manor. Crystal, thank you so much. And I want to thank Crystal, who is just one of the kindest people in our community, for reminding me that we need to dedicate tonight's Alice's Restaurant to a special friend that we lost recently. And Kip Silverman was always a part of this event, as he was a part of so much at Makepeace Manor. I literally, when I think of Kip, I think of the time that he was out in front on the hedges with me, and he just said, "I'm the tallest friend you have. Let me help you trim the hedges." That is a friend indeed. And so sad that Kip had a rough and tough battle with cancer, and we lost him. We're building a thing called the Grove of Absent Friends at Makepeace Manor that'll be out by the road, and he'll be joining a lot of our other our wonderful friends who sadly we have lost over the years as we build that grove at Makepeace Manor. And now for something completely different, I'm just going to sing a bizarre song that I wrote a while ago called Happening. Something for nothing is seldom worth having, 'cause nothing worth owning was ever abandoned. I'm a childless only child, set me loose in a halfway wasted, half unstrung. Last day to remember, I feel foolishly guilty. I feel like I need to stop by your place. It's as though I own this time I somehow waste. Yes, I am halfway down, heading to halfway gone. Cutting through, way down to halfway gone. Last day of December, I'm out of work early, and I'd really like to stop by your place. If I could make it in the time I have to wait. Haste. I'm a childless only child. Set me loose in acres wild. Set me free. Oh, let me be. Oh, let me be. That's my weird bit of performance art. What's up next, Mr. DJ? That's going to be excellent. Right on.
Mana.
Do 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 do.
Mana.
Do 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 do. Mana. What are you?
Do 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 do.
Mana. Da da
Do
da.
do do do.
Mana. Do 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 do. Mana.
Do 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 do. Mana.
Do do do.
Mana. Do 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 do. Mana.
Do 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 do.
Do do do. Mana.
Do 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 do.
Mana.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Mana.
Do 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 do.
And Annabelle, how fun was that? Folks, we're like taking things up a notch here. This is really cool. Somebody noted that we didn't have a screen here. Are we audible? I guess so. I hear me. So this is really cool. We didn't have a screen set up in the yard of Mayhem Manor. So Monster pulled up the monster truck, and now this is being broadcast live. So when anybody such as myself is at the microphone or the two turntables, we can look out and see the scene where it's at. Scat Cat got two turntables and a megaphone. Calling Liz Kramer. Megaphone. Just kidding. Wow, this is fun. We're off to a great start here. I really want to thank the people who've pitched in so far because this is good. This is as good as it gets at an Alice restaurant party, and we're doing it virtual. We're in cyberspace, flying through space like cats in space, but without the cats. This is good. Is something else lined up? All right. What do we got coming up? Oh, yeah, this is going to be good. Claudia Brown. And always amazing spoken words from our friend, my fellow professor from Hartford Community College. Let's hear what Claudia has to share.
I'll be reading an excerpt from the Presidential Impeachment Orgy, The Real Story Behind Donald Trump's Impeachment by Anonymous. Chapter 5. It's something a little unorthodox, where we would lie around and cuddle with some of our most favorite and awesome people while watching Rachel Maddow read out the impeachment vote on a giant projection screen, and then we would all get our freak on. By the time I found out that Sunshine was planning an orgy with his friend Patty to be held on the night of Trump's impeachment, I had already fallen head over heels in love, and there was no turning back. Sunshine created a Facebook event page, the official Donald Trump impeachment orgy, and invited all of his sex-positive friends. He used a placeholder date, which he periodically updated as Trump's impeachment seemed less and less imminent with the passing of time. But while the event date remained in question, Sunshine's assurance of Trump's guilt did not. As an attorney who had read the Mueller report, he was confident that impeachment was imminent. Russia had interfered to help Trump win the 2016 election, and since taking office, Trump had attempted to obstruct the investigation of Russia's interference in the election on numerous occasions. "Here's the thing," Sunshine said. "Remember how he claimed he could shoot someone in the middle of Fifth Avenue and get away with it? Well, he did it. I mean, he didn't shoot anyone. He just committed a bunch of other crimes out in the open in plain view, lying every step of the way." Sunshine was so convinced of Trump's guilt that I became certain too that impeachment was just around the corner. I became a regular on Twitter, checking news updates hourly. I also checked the impeachment orgy guest list on a daily basis, noting with a sigh each time that the female attendees greatly outnumbered the male ones. Guests proposed party games and recipes for impeachment tea and impeachment juleps. Lewd memes and anti-Trump articles with hopeful captions filled up the page. Sunshine positively glowed when he shared his ideas for party games. Pin the tail on the spray-tanned ass, and orange-themed party food, Cheetos, and orange crushed soda. But as his enthusiasm grew, so too did my anxiety. I wasn't ready for this orgy. I wasn't ready to participate, and I certainly wasn't ready to watch Sunshine get his freak on with his friend Patty. My desire to see Trump impeached was at odds with my desire to not see my boyfriend with another woman. The struggle was real. Sunshine had always made it clear he ran with the free love crowd, so I braced. Speaker Nancy Pelosi was dragging her heels. Meanwhile, I watched the soul of my country harden day by day, manipulated by a power-hungry narcissist, a wolf in sheep's clothing, an emperor without any clothes, an antichrist in every sense of the word. And I watched the man I love hold on to his optimism while so many I knew were becoming hardened and cynical. He still believed in truth and justice and the American way. So that's when I stepped in. To be continued. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia Brown. Oh my gosh. How cool was that? What an amazing reflection on community and things that happen possibly here at Makepeace Manor. Life is good. There's a danger in a captive audience because anything could happen And this is the scary part when there's live and there's me, because there's also Taylor Swift. Blank space. Pleased to meet you, how have you been? I could show you incredible things, magic, madness, heaven, sin. Saw you there and I said, oh my God, look at that face. You look like my next mistake. Love's a game, want to play. New money, skirt so high, I could read you like a magazine. Ain't it funny? Rumors fly, and I know they'll tell you I'm insane. I got a blank space, baby. I'll write your name. Cherry crystal skies, cherry lips, I can show you incredible things. Stolen kisses, pretty lies. I'm the king, baby, you're my queen. Find out what you want. Be that boy for a month. But wait, the worst is yet to come. Oh, yes. Screaming, crying, perfect storm. I can make all the tables turn. Rose garden filled with thorns. Leave you second guessing like, oh my God, who is he? I get drunk on jealousy. But you'll come back each time, you see, 'cause, darling, I'm a nightmare dressed as a daydream. So it's gonna be forever, or it's gonna go down. Girls only want love if it's torture. Don't say I didn't. Say I didn't warn ya. 'Cause it's gonna be forever, or it's gonna go down in flames. You can tell me when it's over, if the high was worth the pain. Got a long list of ex-lovers, they'll tell you I'm insane. I know you love the players, and I love the game. 'Cause we're young and we're reckless. We'll take it way too far. It'll leave you breathless or with a nasty scar. Got a long list of ex-lovers. They'll tell you I'm insane. I got a blank space, baby. I'll write your name. This, folks, is why it's so important that you submit submissions to the Alice's Restaurant Party so we have too much material and you don't have to look at things like that. Plus, I think I just violated some copyright things, and oh shit, Taylor's after me. What's lined up next? What do we have coming on? Oh my gosh, Jenny Cook. I hear this is going to be a zinger. I am so excited. And Jenny is a dear friend of mine who every so often, at least the last couple of years, says Alice's Restaurant inspires her to create something new. And she told me it did this time. So excited to hear what she has to share. Bring it on, Jenny.
Hey guys, this song is called When You Do What You Do. For the first time in a long time, I feel something. You make me feel some type of way, baby. Run your hands all down my back and bite my ears, oh baby. You know I like that. Forget subtleties, I want you to take me and make me lose my mind. Oh, your magic, it's healing, my soul hits the ceiling when you do what you do. Come inside my world, I'll melt you too. Oh, you know I have needs, but I love it when you tease me up my thighs. I wanna drink of your sweet sugar to fill me up inside. Scratch your nails all down my back and pin me down, oh baby. You know I like that. Skip the pleasantries, I want you to take me and satiate my core. Oh, your magic, it's healing, my soul hits the ceiling when you do what you do. Come inside my world, I'll melt you too. It's healing, my soul hits the ceiling when you do what you do.
Yeah, Jenny, wow. Powerful as always. Thank you so much for sharing and for creating. It's such a joy to be able to inspire and even put a little pressure on with the Alice's Restaurant Party for some really cool stuff to come together. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Jenny. What's our next lineup? Have we got?
Next lineup is, let's see. Give me 1 second.
All right, we need a second, so I'll do something stupid here. I'll share. All right, this is Keith McKellen.
Somebody say do something
There we
stupid.
go. Here we go.
I'm great at that. Hi, everybody. I'm just really excited to be here. I'd like to thank the Academy and especially Brewster for all of his hard work and dedication to putting this party on, possibly for longer than some of us have been alive. So, and you're looking great, sir. You're looking great. 1969, Summer of Love and all that stuff. That was a long time ago, but it's
67.
okay.
I'm not that old.
1960. Wait, okay. Well, anyway, I think we're about ready.
Greetings there, Alice's Restaurants peoples. All you stoners and freaks and hippies out there in TV land. It's your pal Keith coming to you. Kudos, Brewster, for doing this in a sensible manner. Well, as sensible as we can get. I'd like to sing a song for everybody who thinks 2020 sucks. Because it does. The song was originally done in the 60s by the Kinks, but it applies to our times. I'm going to ask my pal Keith here to back me up on keys. And if you happen to know this one, sing along. Okay, here we go now. Well, live my life and never stop to worry about a thing. Opened up and shouted out and never tried to sing. Wondering if I'd done it wrong. Will this depression last for long? Oh, won't you tell me, where have all the good times gone? Where have all the good times gone? Well, once we had an easy ride, it always felt the same. Time was always on our side and everything to gain. Let it be like yesterday. Please let me have happy days. Come on and tell me, where have all the good times gone? Where have all the good times gone? Mom, Pa, look back at all the things they used to do. They didn't have no money, but they always told the truth. Daddy didn't have no toys, and Mama didn't have no boys. Oh, won't you tell me, where have all the good times gone? Where have all the good times gone? Well, yesterday was such an easy game for you to play. But let's face it, everything is fucked up today. Guess we need some bringing down to get our feet back on the ground. Come on and tell me, where have all the good times gone? Where have all the good times gone? Where have all the good times gone? There you have it.
And he's been growing out his head hair. Keith's been growing out his head and his face hair. I think they're both competing to see who can look more like Tom Petty. I'm just seeing both of them with their little top hats and their grown out hair singing, "Hey, no cummerbunds here no more. We sold out our store. Whatever you're looking for, there's no cummerbunds here no more. Tuxedo up, yeah!" Hey, put that there.
And that's a wrap. Best ending ever. Remember, Jeff, don't trip over the
Oh, you didn't tell me about that. I was walking backwards. All right. That was pretty cool. Live from the Del Shack, or perhaps recorded from the Del Shack. I don't know if I saw that Jag. I don't know if I saw the VW Beetle that's been a guest here at Alice's Restaurant. 1967 VW Beetle of Mitch's that I guess he doesn't have anymore. Shit. Well, anyway, it was really fun while he did, because at least I love to hang out with my 67 Volvo here at the Manor. But that was really cool. Mitch and Reed, thank you so much. That was really sweet to listen to, and I love that song. What a great song as we head into the Thanksgiving moment here, Harvest Moon by Neil Young. So we're going to actually, we're coming up on our first hour here, and thanks to the incredible technical expertise that Mike and Ed and Dino are sharing, we have not blown up the planet or broken the internet yet, which is pure coincidence if I'm involved. But hey guys, thank you for all your technological assistance here. Super appreciated to make the Alice's Restaurant Party number 32 roll on. We're going to take just a 2-minute break here so we can download and prepare a video sent to us by the one and only amazing Liz, quote, fucking, quote, Kramer. Thank you, Liz Kramer, for sending in a submission. Give us a couple of minutes here. Y'all go take a bathroom break, and in like just a couple of minutes, we'll be back here with something you're going to want to hear. Cheerio. Karen Sykes, you knew me. I am indeed a Scottish gentleman disguised as a wee Berner from America. I love to speak in a Scottish brogue when I'm able to, and the reason I do is it gets me out of a lot of trouble. Like this one time, I was off in Italy with a young lady that is, not a laddie. I was with a lady in Italy, and these gentlemen kept coming around. They were very eager to sell us flowers. They kept saying, "Hey, would you buy some flowers for the lady?" And I did not wish to do so. And I knew if I said something in my American accent, they'd know I was an easy target. So instead, I switched into my Scottish brogue. And I said, I'd love to buy you flowers, but I am Scottish and I am cheap and I cannot do it. And the beauty of it was that all wandered away very quickly because they could not understand a thing I was saying. All you have to do is screw up every vowel you ever had and the consonants too, and you're speaking Scottish, let me tell you. But I had an opportunity this past summer. I was up at my friend Ari Strauss's racetrack in Monticello, New York, and there was a fella there. I didn't know this, but who was Scottish. But anywho, Ari says to me, would you stand up, Brewster, and say where I know you from? Well, the fact was, we knew each other from 6th grade. We'd been wee lads together. But I decided to blow his fucking mind, so I stood up and I said, hey, I'm Ari's friend Brewster. I'm in from Scotland. I'm here to race cars, but I'd rather be racing a Jaguar because I'm from Scotland. And everybody fucking bought it, except this one dude who was not in the room. So they brought me to meet him later, and they said, hey, Brewster, we need you to have a word with Alistair. And I said, hey, Alistair, I'm Ari's cousin. I'm from Scotland. It's really good to meet you. And Alistair said, I'm really from Scotland, and your accent sucks. But by then I'd fooled myself, and that made it very awkward. So there you have it. Well, anywho, welcome back from the break. Or, as we say in America, welcome back from the break! Ha-ha! It's Saturday Night Live from Makepeace Manor, where all the mayhem ensues, and we are rolling strong here. It's pro wrestling time. Would anyone like to wrestle? Just kidding. Yeah, America! Oh my God, we just had Pearl was in the yard. We just had her scrambling up the stairs. I think we scared the living shit out of her, which is good. We don't want Pearl outside. Now we know how to scare her. Just speak wrestling. Anyway, by the way, for those of you who are rooting for America tonight, in case you didn't know, not every ballot has been counted. There's one out there that's just waiting to be counted. It's hanging out with its friend Chad, and that ballot is going to be counted by midnight tonight, which is really cool because it is here at Mayhem Manor. We understand that a certain sitting president, not to be named, but it's a bit orange, is going to make his concession speech. I should say his or her. I hate to be, give it away, but it's a his. So that's going to happen around midnight tonight. You're going to hear it here first. These dogs here. What do you dogs think about the concession speech that's coming? We think it's rough. Woof, woof. I don't know, but it's going to be an interesting time. Oh, my God. I'm red. I'm unhappy. I'm not red, so I'm okay with it. Wow, shit's getting weird. I told you it would. Anyway, midnight concession speech. Stay tuned for that. If the individual himself is not able to make it here, I will deliver the concession speech on his behalf because that's America and that's how things should be. You all have been very patient while we were downloading items. We have now downloaded a special contribution from one of my favorite Alice's Restaurant participants of all time, the immaculately marvelous Liz Kramer. Liz came to one of the earliest Alice's Restaurants of the Burner community, and she and I wound up doing some songwriting together as a result of it. That was great fun. She's an amazing talent and brings so much to our community, with or without a megaphone. So we're so excited to have Liz participating here. Oh, and Charisse is excited too. There you have it, folks. Let's see what she has to share.
Hi friends, I'm really sad to not be able to give you a hug right now, but I'm glad we're able to do this virtually. And tonight I'm going to play a song by one of my favorite songwriters who passed away this year from COVID, John Prine. So this is me doing Angel from Montgomery. I hope you like it. I'm an old woman lightning, thunder was desire. Sold house would have burned down a long time ago. Make me an angel, fly from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. I was a young girl, I had me a cowboy. He wasn't much to look at, just a free rambling man. That was a long time, no matter how I tried. The years just flew by like a broken down dam. Make me an angel, fly from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. Flies in the kitchen, I hear them buzzing. Seems I ain't done nothing since I woke up today. How the hell can a person go to work in the morning, come home in the evening, and have nothing to say? Make me an angel, fly from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. Thanks, friends.
To life. Man, that was good. There's only a very few people here on site at Makepeace Manor. There's basically myself and Ruff and Clifford. But no, there's a few other people you see wandering around. But we're keeping it under 10 because that's the level of our maturity. But you know, 10 is a good number. Well, it's actually got 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we got more like 6 to be honest. But you know, that's really cool because that is a good building that we can promise next year's Alice's Restaurant Party will be bigger, unless it's not. But we hope it will, and we really we're all praying real hard for this whole coronavirus shindig to come to an end. I danced with the thing back in March and April, and my message to y'all is, if you've heard about having lingering effects, they're real. They're manageable for many of us. They're not for others, but bear with folks because it's weird, and I would definitely highly recommend that you follow all those guidance lines and avoid getting this thing if you can. It's not fun when you have it, and it can have some lingering effects too, and all that spread shit. So that's why we're doing this virtual. We're trying to be socially responsible. I want to thank the people who encouraged us to keep it this way. I'm an infernal optometrist or an eternal optimist, whichever you want to think of. And so my hope was, I held out hope when we put out the invitation and throughout that things would get better to the point where we could do a large 100+ person in-person gathering. I knew it wasn't likely, but I wanted to believe. And, you know, the beautiful part is we roll with what we got. And one of the things that's so wonderful tonight is we're having people join us in for this event that couldn't join us if it was in person. They'd be missing out, sitting home alone and being all sad and stuff. And instead, they're part of the Alice's Restaurant Party because we're virtual, we're everywhere. That's why right now, the gentleman who's going to concede at midnight tonight here on the Alice's Restaurant Party is able to join in along with his family, which is special. And we also have people joining in from far away. I just saw a very dear friend of mine, one of my favorite people on the planet, Jessica Piper, is joined in all the way from Kentucky. I mean, it'd be a long drive. A long, long drive. 8 hours plus, maybe 10, maybe 12 if she got pulled over. But instead, she's here with us. So yay! This is the beauty of going virtual is when one door closes, another opens. And that's what we like. Speaking of opening and closing doors, or completely unrelated topics, I just heard a sighting of Adam Glambert somewhere on here on the property. Could it be? Is it real? I don't know. Rumors are rumors. Apparently, the rumors are real. Now, I don't know if Adam is quite ready to grace us with his presence, but it's going to happen at some point, I'm betting. So there's yet another reason to stay tuned. DJ Mike, do we have anything else lined up at this point, or shall we go to a live performance, if we can allow him? Let's see. So can we bring Tom Risen in? Let me tell you, Tom Risen is a dear friend of mine of more than a decade. We have shared so many good adventures. And Tom's a journalist, and right now is working on a really cool book. This is so exciting. This is like being in the space station and Star Trek and Star Wars all combined. I love technology when other people are in charge of it. You want to see? Oh, wait, I'm going to show you something technological I can do.
Halfway done with the book. You want me to dig into it? No? You want me to read you? I wrote a sample chapter for you all. I had this whole thing recorded like I was, because I got this headset and I tried to record it on GarageBand, but GarageBand just isn't working. Sorry. I was all prepared. I had this, let me bring it up. Do you want me to do it now?
Either that or tell us about your beard.
Let's go with yes!
And you're going to hear the story of the senator who fought for the hippie. The senator who was the friend that they didn't know they had in Washington. Okay, so here's the introduction I wrote. Hi, all you lovely people at Alice's Restaurant. I'm Tom Risen, and this is my NPR voice. As some of you know, I've been writing a book the past few years, and now I'm halfway done. The working title is The Last Honest Man. It's very exciting stuff spanning more than 2 decades, told mainly through the eyes of a Democratic senator from Idaho named Frank Church. This odyssey he guides us through includes the biggest and most controversial events of the 1960s. When Arlo Guthrie and all the lovely hippies at Alice's Restaurant in 1969 were criticizing the Vietnam War, calling for civil rights, and fighting for free speech, Frank Church was the angel on their shoulders fighting for all these causes in the U.S. Senate. When he ran for president in 1976, he even advocated decriminalizing marijuana. Since this book is my top artistic pursuit, I've recorded a sneak preview for you all of the first chapter. It's about optimism and compassion overcoming hate. I hope you enjoy it. The editor at the Boise Capital News had to double-check the name on the letter he had just read. It was April 1939, and the letter was a well-crafted and informed argument for why the United States should stay out of another war, as storm clouds began to gather over Europe. Could this letter have really been written by a 14-year-old boy? He checked and discovered to his amazement that the letter really had been written by an 8th grader at North Junior High School named Frank Church. The editor published it on the newspaper's front page. The newspaper received several letters from readers who couldn't believe the front page letter had been written by a 14-year-old. So the Boise paper ran a follow-up letter from Church's social studies teacher confirming he was the author. Frank Forrester Church III had always been special. He was born on July 25th, 1924, in Boise, a small city in the Mountain West that was then the most remote region of the continental United States. His father owned a and his parents enjoyed a comfortable middle-class life. Still, he was a city boy at heart and was drawn to reading and learning above all. It was the world of the mind and of words and language that attracted Church. He always excelled in school and was always the smartest kid in class. No one else even came close. Frank was also friendly and had a good sense of humor, and by high school, he was at the center of a large group of friends. This included Bethine Clark, who fit in well with his group of friends debating politics and other intellectual topics. Frank and Bethune became best friends and started dating. Church's father was politically conservative, and the family was Catholic, and as he grew up, Frank Church turned away from both the Republican Party and the Catholic Church. He later liked to tell the story that it was his father's republicanism that had inadvertently led him to the Democratic Party. His father enjoyed debating politics with his son, and to keep up, Frank would often go to the local library to do research so that he could argue the Democratic point of view against his father's republicanism. Frank Church later joked that the research stuck, and he became a Democrat in one of the most solidly Republican states in the nation. Church was so serious about politics and intellectual pursuits that his role model was not a football player or a Hollywood star, but a longtime senator from Idaho, William Borah. The senator served in the Senate from 1907 until his death in 1940, and was considered at the time to be a leading progressive, who early in his career pushed for the creation of the graduated income tax and the direct election of senators, who had previously been appointed by state legislatures. Borah was a strong anti-imperialist who opposed warmongering, gunboat diplomacy, and American interventions in the affairs of smaller nations. He denounced arms dealers as international criminals and favored an 80% tax on war profits. He also opposed the 1917 Espionage Act, calling it a violation of the First Amendment and an unacceptable effort to censor the free press. Church in 1940 went to Idaho's state capital of Boise when Borah died and lay in state. The teenager marveled at the scale of the event, which was quite grand for Idaho at the time. Frank later recalled that the spectacle was the first time he considered becoming a senator. Borah would become a constant role model throughout Church's life, and he later kept a portrait of Borah prominently displayed in his Senate office. While he was in high school, he would often practice by speaking in front of the mirror at home. He had a brilliant gift for speech. His speech teacher called him a natural, and with Church leading the way, the Boise High debate team won the state championship. By April 1941, a 16-year-old Frank Church boarded an eastbound train at Union Pacific Station in downtown Boise on his way to Charleston, where he was to compete in a national public speaking contest for high school students sponsored by the American Legion. As Church crossed the country, he was shadowed by the threat that America might soon be dragged into World War II. War was raging in Europe, and Germany looked unstoppable. France had fallen the year before, and most of Europe lived under fascist rule. Britain feared an invasion of their island as the Luftwaffe bombed London. President Roosevelt had convinced Congress to improve his Lend-Lease program to provide the embattled British with warships while embarking on a major rearmament program to modernize the American military. Still just a junior at Boise High School, Church had easily won the state and regional debate playoffs, and he was now one of just 4 finalists from across the country facing off for the American Legion's national championship on the campus of the Citadel, an old military college in downtown Charleston. For the contest championship round, Church decided to use the speech to give voice to a new generation of Americans who might have to fight the war. He urged a muscular role for America in the world. In a remarkably nuanced and thoughtful address for a 16-year-old high school junior, Frank Church laid out a set of beliefs that would guide him for the rest of his life. During the past year, the American people have witnessed with apprehension the destruction of democracy in all parts of the world, Church began. We have witnessed this conquest at the hands of a brutal alien philosophy of life, and we have determined in unanimity that the fate of France, the fate of Norway, the fate of Belgium and of Poland shall not be the fate of America. In the face of this danger, Church called for a vigorous defense of the American way, which he defined as having 3 pillars: social, economic, and political freedoms. America's social freedom stemmed from a society that was free, classless, and equal, he said, unlike Europe's society of privilege. Our system of free schools and our public libraries manifest that equality of opportunity afforded to every American, and we must keep it that way. We must keep it free from all privilege in order that every citizen, unhampered by birth or rank or wealth, might continue to enjoy an equal chance to succeed. But that social freedom would be worthless in an economy where all industrial policy is decided and directed from above, and where every position, every advancement is dependent upon the whims of a political bureaucrat. Only with economic freedom could the natural ambition to succeed flourish in America. Social and economic freedom wouldn't survive, however, without political freedom, which had to be protected against any kind of limitation, Church said. For there has been no period in all the centuries of the history of man where political freedom has been limited and where democracy has survived. The speech was a triumph, winning the contest and a college scholarship. The Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, came in the middle of Church's senior year. He stayed in high school and graduated in 1942, and then used the scholarship he won to attend Stanford University. But he didn't stay in college long. He enlisted in the Army in late 1942, and was then accepted into Officers Candidate School, and eventually became an Army intelligence officer. He arrived in India in 1945, and then traveled with his small intelligence unit over the Burma Road to China. He was responsible for intelligence estimates of Japanese troop movements and strength in China. Even though he was just a lieutenant, he so impressed his commanding general that he took him on his staff to Nanking to witness the formal surrender of Japanese forces in China in 1945. Church left the Army a year later, and by then his high school sweetheart, Bethine, who had gone to the University of Michigan, was engaged to another man. But Church got back to Boise, and an old friend convinced him that Bethine wasn't happy about her engagement because she still cared for Church. So he went to her house, took Bethine for a drive, and asked her to marry him. She said yes, but demanded that he wait until he was back in college to make sure that he really meant it. Her parents were briefly angry that she had so suddenly broken her other engagement, but Frank and Bethine were married at the Clark family mountain ranch in 1947. Bethine became his most important political advisor throughout his career. In fact, Church had married into the most influential party in family in Democratic Party politics in Idaho. Not only had her father been a governor, but her uncle had also been governor, and her cousin a U.S. senator. Church returned to Stanford to finish college. Upon graduation, he took a government job to pay the bills while he dove into Democratic politics in Boise. He took a leadership role in the Boise area Democratic Party, and in 1952 gave the keynote speech at the party's state convention and ran for state legislature. He lost the race, but not his taste for politics. In late 1955, he decided, I'm going to shoot for the moon. He decided he would skip any further local races and would challenge Herman Welker for a seat in the United States Senate in 1956. Idaho's Republican Senator Welker was an ardent supporter of Senator Joe McCarthy, the Wisconsin Republican who had embroiled the nation in anti-communist paranoia and hysteria for years, destroying countless lives and lending his name to the dark era of McCarthyism. Communist spies proved surprisingly difficult to find in 1950s America. So, persecuting homosexuality became an important and ugly strategy for McCarthyites. This hysteria labeling homosexuals as a threat to national security pressured President Dwight Eisenhower in 1953 to issue an executive order that made it illegal for gays and lesbians to work in the U.S. government. Herman Welker was a former LA lawyer who had returned to his home state of Idaho to get into politics. He was elected in 1950 to the Senate, the same year that McCarthy first launched his red-baiting witch hunt, and Welker quickly began to model his fledgling political career after him. Welker became so closely identified with McCarthy that he earned the name Little Joe from Idaho. In February 1950, McCarthy burst out of obscurity from the Senate's back benches and onto the national stage with an infamous speech in Wheeling, West Virginia, claiming with no evidence that he had a list of names of 205 Communist Party members who worked in the State Department. McCarthy was, in fact, mimicking a speech given weeks earlier by Congressman Richard Nixon. embellishing it with his own claims of a massive Soviet conspiracy in the State Department. Nixon had made his career by targeting communism, and the Wisconsin senator hoped to do the same. Once in the Senate, Welker continued to copy McCarthy, spending most of his time on red baiting rather than on issues affecting Idaho. Photographs from his time in the Senate show that he even had the same kind of dark-circled eyes and menacing looks that were McCarthy's trademark. By 1954, however, the Senate was turning on Joe McCarthy, who had lost public support following his disastrous performance during the televised Army McCarthy hearings in the spring of that year. He'd ruthlessly scoured the military looking for communists, but for all his trouble, the closest he found was an army dentist with no real links to any communists. Sensing weakness, senators from both parties began to push for McCarthy's formal censure. Welker was forced to serve as the Senate floor general for McCarthy's defense against the censure motion. Welker failed to slow it down, and the censure passed by an overwhelming 67-22 vote on December 2nd, 1954. Welker was heard muttering obscenities on the Senate floor as McCarthy went down to defeat. Meanwhile, Welker's reputation had been sinking in Idaho. He'd largely ignored the state for 6 years while pursuing his McCarthyite red-baiting agenda, and as a result had little support among Idaho's Republican leaders. Welker attracted 4 challengers in the Republican primary and had won with less than half of the votes. There was plenty of...
Thank you, Tom Risen. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Now folks, we're going to let him read the entire book. But we had to cut it. The reason is, if we give the book away for free, you will buy it. We want you to buy it. It's going to be a freaking good book. This dude has been researching this and writing on it for months, for years.
Brewster, it is now my pleasure and great honor to introduce. You say you cry and see what you hurl in the sea when you see me go by. So sad. Remember we made an arrangement when you went away. Remember to fight our estrangement. I'm your man. Soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back. Time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. And when comes to shove, I will send the full arms battalions for my life, brother. You'll be back like before. I will fight to win for your love, for your peace, and I'll love you give your friends and family to remind you of my love. Da 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 da
was kind of awesome. That was Adam Lambert, who is one of our housemates here at Makepeace Manor, though one who we keep forgetting to invoice. We need to work on that shit. But thank you, Adam, for bringing royalty to the playa tonight. What do we got queued up next? We have something queued up next? Do we need a break? All right. Well, do we need like a break, or a break is an inducing break? A break is an inducing break. Okay. Now there's a challenge I'm ready to meet. So this party started in 1989 in my dorm room at Hamilton College, which, if you're doing the math, means I went to college. Doesn't mean I graduated, because I went. But anyway, I went. As Arlo did in the movie Alice Restaurant. He also went to college. As he put it, schools have a way of dropping that around me. Not really my story, but that's his story. It's a good story. Anyway, one of the joys I found for the very first Alice Restaurant, it inspires us to create. It inspires us to put some pressure on us to say there's a deadline, there's an event happening, and we can pull something together for this event. Leading back to that first Alice Restaurant party when I was in college, I had a professor who was the worst professor ever. I don't know why I'm evoking him. I'd hate to even mention his name, Bill Rosenfeld. But Bill Rosenfeld was the worst professor I ever had. I'd had a fabulous creative writing professor named Shahid Ali Aga, who was a Kashmiri poet who inspired me like hell. He went on sabbatical. I got stuck with Bill Rosenfeld, who was the most boring person in the world. So I wrote a poem. I dedicated it to him, and I read it in public. That's probably why I didn't do well in his class. But my poem that I wrote, because I wanted to piss him off, goes like this. It's the shortest poem I ever wrote, and I've written a lot of poems. Shakespeare wrote a poem long ago. Shakespeare wrote his poem long and slow. Shakespeare sees his poem fading fast. Shakespeare cannot find it in the grass. Bards should not write poems in the snow. I'd like to weirdly dedicate that to Erica Hughes. I think she might get it. She's probably not watching, but I think she'd get it. But I have something that I did write for this year's Alice Restaurant party. And since we're in prime time, I think it's a good time to share it. And this is... I shared earlier my song about Arlo Guthrie, which I also wrote, not intending to, but it happened for this in time for the party tonight. That was very sincere from the heart event. But this one is called Bad Choices. And this is really about my year of 2020. And I apologize it's a little dark, but hello, it's 2020. I started it after kind of a bad trip I stumbled into back in February. And I finished it this week because the bad trip just keeps going and giving. God bless 2020. But this one is called Bad Choices. Froggy. COVID. Already been there. It's called Bad Choices. And again, this is about just stuff that's going on for me this year. And I wish it was here, but I promise 2021 can only be better. Bad Choices. Nothing feels right when nothing is bad. Nothing feels right when nothing is bad. I'm living in my house. The ghost of what it was. A place where I once found my true self. Where I broke apart. Rewind those flashing lights. They never should have come this way. Bring me back 10 months ago. I'd pay you with my soul. This destination summoned me. Yet no longer will. Skies dark into November. Everyone that used to laugh, that side faded away. To distant to sun again. I write an epitaph in gold, color of my soul. I'm getting really good at making bad choices, listening too hard to the soft voices in my head. They fill my head. Once we resigned from being determined, my anchor followed the wind where it led, beyond distress in my head. Did last night's anger from my lawn By morning it was gone. Wind kicked up and the shingles flew. Who saw fit to part that head? Yes, in my head. Oh yeah. Sanity is underrated, little seen and obfuscated, underwhelmed and underrated, intimately intimidated, obsolete and overblown, overrun and overgrown. Over time, what's overblown is over, and I'm all alone. Getting really good at making bad choices. Listening too hard to the soft voices in my head. They fill my head. Once we resigned from being determined, my anchor followed the wind where it led. Beyond it's in my head. Oh yeah, so nothing feels right with nothing left. It's in my head. Nothing feels right with nothing left. It's in my head. Thank you.
Gotta bring a little note to Styles' restaurant because if it weren't for that, it would be a party. Lord knows it's 2020 and parties don't happen, folks.
Aw, yay.
Thank you, Jenny. I sure appreciate that from my fellow songwriter.
Love you, Brewster.
All right.
We love you.
Do you have anything else in mind at this moment? So we have Jeff Wendell's second video, and God bless you, Jeff. Jeff saved my life third time, mentally speaking. I was having a weird experience. I was in the woods, walking with some people, trying to figure out what the hell was going on, and it wasn't going well. And just when I was thinking, I need something to stabilize this shit, along came Jeff Wendell. And Jeff is stability. He is a good dude to run into if you're having a bad trip in the weird woods. So let's see what he's got to share with us.
Distance is not near.
It's so good to see friends together. Even if we have to stay 6 feet apart. You know, we don't have to stay 1,000 feet apart. That's the important thing we need to remember. You just have to be responsible, and we can together and do things. What a beautiful, beautiful song. So nice to see Mitch's beautiful backyard. So nice to see Epec and Jake. And you know, this poster. This is something. Epec is one of the saints of this community, in my opinion. This is the kind of thing she does. She just made this poster for the heck of it for an Alice restaurant party one year. And what a tribute she paid by doing so. So much appreciation to her, those folks for getting together and jamming out and recording something to share here at Alice's restaurant. And most importantly, thank you for the tribute to our friend Kip. Kip Silverman was one of those people who epitomized the Burner 10 principle of welcome the stranger. And part of why he did that because Kip was a stranger. Kip was not a stereotypical burner. He was not somebody who had 1,000 costumes in his closet. He was not somebody who twirled fire for a hobby. He was not somebody who just was a natural burner. He was somebody who found the community and said it spoke to him. And then what he did, he welcomed every goddamn stranger that came his way. He was the person who would come up to you if you were at an event and just say, "Hey man, how are you doing? How are you hanging out?" He was a genuine person. He was the good part of what it is to be a New Yorker. He was so real. And I just want to share real quickly my favorite Kip Silverman moment because if there were a movie, say Fast Times at Ridgemont High, perhaps you'd have a character. You'd have a Kip character, and what the Kip character would do is he would pop up in every scene. He'd randomly say, "Hey man, want to smoke some dope?" because and I don't care if it's legal or not. Let's give a fuck. Kip's point was let's share something together. And so it happened. A group of us, Epec and I among them, went to see Jefferson Starship one time. Kip was with us. We went to see Jefferson Starship play down at Constitution Hall. And we heard their show, and it was so good. And afterwards, we decided we'd try and get autographs. So we hung out in the back behind the show, and Epec had some beautiful art she made, and she approached Paul Kantner, and Paul signed her art, and we got to talking. And we actually connected with the band. We connected with a band that has been around for more than 50 years. How often do you get a chance to do that? It was a beautiful night. And we got our autographs, and we got our smiles, and we got our connections. And we were walking down the street as happy as a group of human beings can be, because we'd met some people who were stars of ours. And as we're walking away, an SUV slowed down. That SUV happened to have Paul Kantner and the other members of the band in. And then Kathy Richards, who's the lead singer, leaned over and she said, "Hey, guys, you want to come back to our hotel with us? We're doing a little after party." So we went. And where we were. I'm not making this shit up. A group of burners is at an after party at a hotel in Washington, D.C. with Jefferson fucking Starship. We're having one of the best nights of our lives possible. And Kip is there. He's one of us. He is among us in this important moment in time. And Kip knows his one line that I mentioned, and he delivers it. He delivers it to Paul Kantner. Paul Kantner, the man who wrote Wooden Ships, for fucking Christ's sake. Kip walks up to him and he says, as only Kip could, "Hey, Paul Kantner, want to smoke some dope?" And Paul Kantner said, Hey, I'm in my 70s, my health is failing. I only smoke my own, to tell you the truth. But why do you ask the rest of the band? So Kip took this and turned around and said, "Hey, band, want to smoke some dope?" And the band said, "We do. But we can't. Because we can't smoke in our hotel room. We'll get thrown out of the hotel. We can't smoke on the streets of Washington, D.C. and we'll get arrested. So much as we'd like to, good sir, we can't. Unless you have an alternative." Kip said, My friend Brewster has a Volkswagen bus parked in front of this hotel. And because Kip said that, God bless you, Kip. The band and our friends piled into this VW bus you see here, Paul fucking Beltane.
Right in the back here.
20 people piled into a bus as small as this and smoked dope on the streets of Washington, D.C., the capital of the free world, uninterrupted until there came a moment where we were interrupted. We were interrupted because a police officer came up beside the bus. We saw from the shape it had to be a police officer. We were paranoid she was smoking the dope. We knew a police officer was about to pound on the bus and scream, "Y'all are under arrest." But fortunately, that was not the case. It was simply a person who was taking a pee against the side of the bus. So we were okay and all was good. But that's a memory that might not have happened without Kip Silverman, and it did because of him. And Kip was such a good, sweet, gentle, fine gentleman. And he fought such a valiant battle against cancer. And that's why this year's House Restaurant Party, more than anything else, is dedicated to Kip's memory. Because he'd be here if he could. And because we're in cyberspace, I hope perhaps he is. I believe it. So, a moment of silence, if you would, for our dear friend Kip. And another moment of silence for Caroline and Tebow and the other dear friends that we have lost in this year that is coming to a close now, who would be here with us if they could. We're a small community, we're a strong community. We're people who care about each other. We're people who enjoy each other's company. This matters. This matters now more than it ever has. And it matters that we're able to come together because of technology in a way we can't while we could in person. But we will. We will in the future, and we look forward to that. So I want to thank everybody who's been part of Alice's restaurant, and we are going to keep charging on through this beautiful night. Whether we are close together or far apart, we are together. Because we can be, and we are. Next up, we have Shen and Monster and Charisse coming up to join me for a little bit of connectivity, as it were.
For sure, that was beautiful. This whole night has been really beautiful to be here. So that's such an absolute privilege.
And now we're going to sing a little song. It's also about connection. And I hope that everybody in their own houses will sing along at home as well. There's so many songs about rainbows, and a song beyond the side. Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. We've been told and supposed to believe it. I will wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. That every wish would be heard and answered when we wish on the morning star. Somebody thought that, someone believed it. What is done so far? So amazing that we start stargazing. What do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Someday we know that it's probably magic. Have
you been half asleep? And have you heard voices? I heard them calling my name. Is this the freedom that calls the young singer? The voice might be alive, I'll say. Heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it. The rainbow connection. The letters between us and me.
Nothing. Not weird at all.
We miss you all. We miss you guys so much. All right. We're now working to get EPEC live with EPEC and Jake. So we're working on our Zoom connection.
The Zoom connection.
So Captain DJ, is there anything to do to help make that connection happen?
They're on.
Well, good. All right. So here we have live from Arlington.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. It's good to see you guys, even if it's virtually. I miss you guys. I love you guys. I wish we could be doing this in person, but I think this is second to best. And I think that when we can finally see each other in person and hug and embrace, it's going to be fucking glorious. So Jake and I are going to perform a song by, well, we're going to do a cover by one of our favorite bands, The Velvet Underground. The song is called I'm Waiting for My Man. Although our version is going to be a little bit different. Our version is going to be I'm Waiting for My Nip by The Velvet Toe Beans. I'm waiting for my catnip. Got 26 dead mice neath my paw. Up my cat tree, meow, meow, meow. Feeling bad and frisky just like an outlaw. I'm waiting for my nip. Hey Maine Coon, what you doing uptown? Hey Maine Coon, you're chasing our feline around. Oh, pardon me, meow, it's furthest from my mind. I'm just looking for my nip dealer this time. I'm waiting for my nip. Here she comes, she's all covered in fur. A big bow, it'll sure make me purr. She's always early, I make her wait, First thing she learns is that I'm always so great. I'm waiting for my nip. Up a windowsill and biscuit dreams on stairs. Everybody thinks I'm moody, but I don't really care. She's got the nip, gives me sweet taste. Oh, then I gotta bite because simply out of haste. I'm waiting for my nip. Lady, don't you holler, and please don't you spray me with water. I'm feeling bad, and you know I'm gonna do what I want. I'm feeling bad, I'm a feline, so fine. Until tomorrow, but that's just another time. I'm waiting for my nip. Catwalk it home. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. I'm waiting for my meow.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
Way to rock it. That was awesome.
That was fucking hilarious, Epec. Emily and I were dying.
I need some nip.
Waiting.
All right. Jake and EPEC. Holy fuck, that was fun. Thank y'all for joining in and doing it live from Arlington. Wherever the heck you are this year, Arlington. I think you're in Arlington. That's good shit, right? Oh my gosh. Wow, this has been a lot of fun. We have seen some talent sent in from afar and some talent brought in from the near. Anyway, this has been a lot of fun. And like I said, just the skeletal crew of us here at Mayhem Manor are having a blast being part of this. Those of you spread far and wide tuning in tonight. Thank you for tuning in, because it's Saturday night and you could be out doing stuff. If it wasn't, have you ever seen a single? It's like that. But we're gonna take a wonderful break right now because Mike
Celebrate 7 and Cat.
do some music for us. For those of us who are on site, which is like eight people, but we're pretending we're 200 because that's what we normally have here. Less than that, 200 people! 200 people! Okay, there's 200 people. We're all wearing masks. And in fact, most of the masks are people. We're counting every mask that's here as a person tonight. So there's like a pile of masks on the ground. There's 180. Okay, there's 187 masks and a few people. But anyway, it's all good. We're going to light a bonfire because we can. Those of you who are out there listening, if you're like, I feel the need to drive by, I'm really no secret. I have been personally, because I'm very personal, I've been cutting down some very invasive vines in front of Mayhem. And if you come by, you're going to see it looks a whole bunch different. The big difference is you can actually see the house, the church house, from the street. So that's weird, but if you've driven by, you already know. If you haven't, you'll come by and see it. So we'll be able to see the bonfire that we're building. You're welcome to come on by if you keep your social distance, stay 20 plus feet away, and don't breathe and shit. But there will be a bonfire going on for the next while. What's awesome is Mike is going to be DJing, and we'll be dancing out to it, and you should dance to it too. So we're going to keep that playing. And when he gets really bored of playing stuff, which usually happens around 9 or 10 the next morning, but whenever he gets tired, we'll start replaying some of the things that we played before because you might have missed it, and you don't want to miss it because let me tell you something. We have had the finest quality of performances ever at an Alice Restaurant Party this year, 2020. And thank you so much. Let's have a big round of applause for everybody who sent something in, performed live, contributed. It ain't easy, folks. I'll tell you. I'm an idiot, so it's easy for me. For most people, standing in front of a microphone or in front of a camera and doing something, it ain't easy, but it's so rewarding when it goes well. So if you saw your friends tonight and you liked it, if you saw a stranger tonight and you liked it, send out a note. Say, hey, I liked what you did. Keep on doing it. That means the world to people who perform. And maybe next year, if you haven't performed this year, maybe next year you'll perform. Whether it's in person or virtual, we don't know where we're going to be. Maybe we'll all be living in Jamaica by then. It's here. Shit can happen. But the important thing is, tonight we brought a community together. We've enjoyed each other's company. God bless you all. And I say that in a very agnostic way, in case you care. But seriously, let's keep doing the stuff we're doing. Let's never give in. Let's remember we can meet our challenges. The challenges are things we rise to, and we're rising. I turn it over now to my very dear friend Mike, who I have so much appreciation for the stuff he is doing tonight, as he has done for so many events, so many parties, so many Burning Man things. The fucking playa. This dude brings it to life. Let's fucking dance!
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Brewster. We actually have one more act that just came in. And would he like to come to the stage now? It is not. My mustache performs every night, but not here. Ready?
I don't know if you noticed, but I thought the sound sucked before. And it was a little frustrating because I don't know about you and your preparation for this evening behind your computer in your living room, but I spent like 2 hours on my makeup. So I want to sing you a song, and I want to sing it a cappella so that I don't have to rely on anybody else to get my shit done. I blame the Wi-Fi entirely here at the Manor. Mike is doing a wonderful job, and I'm so thankful for Mike and Ed and Brewster and everybody that's been able to make Alice's restaurant feel a little bit like home, even though you're still at home. But like. But this is fine. Everything is weird. I'm still very normal. I haven't gotten weird at all. Don't worry. But that sounds like an opinion. Okay. So I would like to sing you a little send-off song before we go to the next portion of our thing. I believe this is an Irish blessing. May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars and climb on every rung. And may you stay forever young. May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see the light surrounding you. May you always be courageous, stand upright and be strong. And may you stay forever young. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of change is here. May your heart always be joyful, and may your song always be sung. May you stay forever young. May you stay forever young. Love you.
Good stuff. Good stuff.